Let's Learn English is a learning platform that is different from anything you have seen before. In terms of breadth of coverage, functionality, and user-friendliness, it will change the way you think about what you can do with a learning platform. It has hundreds of units, thousands of exercises, is fully authourable, customizable, and can be configured to the precise needs of your educational institution. Let's take a tour together. Let's log in as a student to see what a typical adult or teenage learner sees. Here we have a dashboard, which is easy to navigate. At all times, we make user-friendliness an essential element of the platform. This is because it was designed by teachers, not by the computer programmers who designed the other sites you have looked at and trialed. From this one page, you can access the most important parts of the platform. The Quick Start videos, which show you how to use the platform. The database of materials. Your calendar, which shows you scheduled lessons, homework, etc. Your daily extra lesson. Any written compositions or spoken recordings that have yet to be marked. Your notice board. Games. The virtual coins which can be spent on items in your world. The place where students will spend most of their time is the study centre, where all the exercises are kept. As you can see, this is divided into 4 zones: General, Exams, Business, and Young Learners. Within each zone, we have separate areas for grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, writing, speaking, pronunciation, etc. Let's click on the grammar area. Like the other areas, this is divided by CEFR level, from pre-A1 to C2 level. As you can see, there is a huge range of different units, and this is just one area within one zone, and each unit has multiple exercises with many questions. All in all, there are around 18,000 exercises and 100,000 questions, with more being added all the time. Let's click on a typical unit in the grammar area to see what it looks like. Each unit begins with an introduction. For grammar units, you get a video which shows a contextualization of the grammar point. There is no exercise with this, it is just to show what the structure looks like in context. Now for the exercises. They differ from unit to unit, but a typical set consists of a matching pairs exercise, where you click on the left and click on the right to make a correct sentence. If you make a mistake, the platform will accept it, but obviously your exercise will be marked accordingly. Next, we get a proofreading exercise, where you must find errors in a text and correct them, whether by adding a word, taking away a word, or changing a word. Next, we have a multiple choice exercise. Click the correct answer and press grade for your answers. Here, we see the individual notes for each question. Finally, there is a gap fill exercise, where you will either have to type in a word in the gap or choose from a drop-down list of options. Other exercises on the platform include true or false, click and match, and for the young ones, click and colour. For teachers, it's nice to be able to introduce a unit from the platform in class and have students do the exercises at home, so they are not faced with an exercise they have not had any exposure to before the homework. For the listening and reading areas, each unit has an introduction which contains the lesson content, the reading passage or listening recording. There are lead-in questions for each of these units. These are designed to stimulate interest in the unit topic and get students thinking about it. in class. These can be given in the 10 minutes before the end of class, with students discussing the questions in small groups while the teachers monitor and correct errors. Then the students can do the work at home. At the end of reading units, there is a follow-up, which consists of a YouTube video on the same subject as the unit topic. There are no exercises here. It is simply an opportunity for students to relax and be exposed to English while not having the pressure of doing an exercise. Similarly, in a listening unit, as well as getting the lead-in questions, at the end of the unit, the students get the transcript of the listening file and an interesting topic-based video to watch. Let's Learn English also tackles writing and speaking in the only viable way, getting students to actually write and speak. Here is a typical writing unit, describing what someone is like. After looking through the introduction, students get a reordering exercise. Then, they get to write the composition task. Press grade, and this will go to either the student's teacher or us here at Let's Learn English for marking. Similarly, the same goes for speaking units. Here we have a unit where students listen to half a conversation and complete the conversation by responding to the audio cues they are given. As with writing units, students receive individual feedback on their recordings from the teacher or us here at Let's Learn English. Each student automatically gets access to a lesson of the day. A different lesson every day of the year at 3 different levels: elementary, intermediate and advanced. The lessons will either be grammar, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, word building, reading, listening, or a song. These lessons of the day are short. They should typically take no more than 15 minutes to complete. They are there to be used as a supplement to the other work students will do on the platform. They are one of the reasons that students should log on to the platform every day, as there will always be something new for the students to look at and learn from. Let's Learn English balances serious study through challenging exercises with access to English in a way which doesn't involve testing the student's knowledge of the language. Our English library contains a range of English language resources which aim to increase exposure to English whilst not testing the students. We have idioms and jokes in English, live English radio and TV, podcasts, web links, games exclusively written for Let's Learn English, and YouTubers, which is nowadays what youngsters and teens watch instead of television. I have my students put English radio or TV on in the background while they are doing something else. Exposure to a range of accents and types of English will help tune the students' ears to the tone of the language, which can only help them when it comes to understanding spoken English. Interaction between the student and their teacher, or the Let's Learn English staff, is very important. Students have access to a grammar doctor, who is there to answer student questions on any English subject they care to ask. And they will get a reply, usually the same day. As a teacher, you have access to the entire range of English language materials to give to your students. However, you might want to have a more hands-off, autodidactic approach to the students. We have a range of self-directed courses for adults, young learners, exam candidates, and business English students. Each course consists of an entry test, a number of modules, and an exit test. Students complete the entry test and then go through the modules at their own pace. Each module contains a full range of grammar, vocabulary and skills exercises to give a thorough grounding in the English required at that CEFR level. And the course finishes with an exit test and a record of the student's overall improvement. A certificate of achievement is also provided at the end of a course. At every stage of a student's learning journey, we try to encourage student platform usage. One way we do this is by giving students virtual coins every time they log in or complete an exercise on the platform. The students have access to a virtual world in which they can buy countries with the money they have earned. more they use the platform, the more coins they will earn, and the more countries they can buy. Let's Learn English has a separate look and feel for our younger learners, with a more colourful layout, which is even easier to navigate. Let's take a look. Once logged in, the student meets their companion, Max,
fun, isn't it?
who will accompany them whenever they log in, do an exercise or play a game. An entire set of young learner units and exercises has been developed with the emphasis on learning through fun and play. Colourful animation, storytelling, lots of fun pictures in the exercises, and innovative exercises like digital colouring help students have fun using the platform, as well as preparing them for Cambridge Starters, Movers and Flyers examinations. An emphasis on play ensures young learners have fun while they are learning. Games on the platform have been written exclusively for Let's Learn English and can be found nowhere else. In Balloon Pop, pop the balloons connected with a particular vocabulary group and ignore the others. In bouncing balls, put the balls into the correct hoops based on the vocabulary group. Children can play for fun or play for points, and the games last for just 2 minutes to keep things snappy. Let's Learn English games are all authorable, so teachers can create their own versions of games quickly to play whilst revising what the students have learned during a lesson. We believe our mixture of innovative and fun exercises and games can bring young learners to the platform every day. However, in a similar way to what we have done with our adult and teenage students, we have a reward system in Let's Learn English which gives virtual coins to the students when they log on and complete exercises. In place of the world, with countries to buy, young learners have a treehouse where they can hang out. And they can buy objects and toys to have in their treehouse with them. In addition, they have a zoo and can buy animals to have in their zoo. We have seen how much students can benefit from membership of Let's Learn English. Teachers in schools can also utilise the platform to make it an integral part of their teaching and homework regime. I'm logging in now as a teacher, Mary Peters. We can see that she has a similar layout to that of the students, but the information she has access to includes details of her students and classes. Clicking on Class shows us that she has 2 classes. Clicking on one shows us the students in that class. Clicking on one of those students lets her into that student's account, from where she can see his classes, any courses he is doing, and can also show us his gradebook, which is a record of every single exercise he has taken. Clicking on one row, we can see the answers he gave, and the teacher can write feedback for that student, as well as check on whether he has done that exercise before. Teachers have access to a wide range of reports that enable them to see how much the platform is being used by their students. Click on Weekly Stats to see a snapshot of their class usage this week compared with last week. Click on Class Activity for a longer range view of usage. Click on Student Activity to see usage on a per student basis. Click on Reports to see other statistics which will be of use to teachers. Many schools offer tutorial sessions to their students where they discuss the student's progress and offer suggestions of how to improve. Let's Learn English allows this to be done within the system. Find a student and click on One-to-One Meetings to open up the tutorial page. Reports are saved on the system and can be accessed at any time. create a new tutorials sheet and export it in whichever way you want. Press Save to keep the report in the system. Many teachers use coursebooks with their classes. We have cross-referenced our thousands of exercises to the content of over 300 coursebooks and add new and updated ones as they come out. Let's search for one. Here are the details for English File 4th edition from Oxford University Press. Although we have no content from any coursebooks on the platform, you can see that we have in-house created content that matches what students study in each part of each unit of the English File book. Many schools use Let's Learn English instead of a student workbook. Others, who have different course books with different classes, each of which has its own online content, enjoy having only one learning platform to learn how to use instead of 4 or 5 different ones. Schools can filter this list of course books to only have the ones that they use in their schools. When a class is created, the course book or books that the class use can be placed on the class profile. Students and teachers have access to a notice board. Where they can read notes from students, teachers, or administrators. Notes are easy to write and can cover a wide range of subject matter. We are now going to see how easy it is for teachers to set up homework tasks for their students using Let's Learn English. Click on Tasks and choose who the homework task will be for. In this case, example class. Put a title and write the details of what the homework is. Let's Learn English has an extensive cloud where you can put video, audio and image files, as well as PDF documents, PowerPoint presentations, etc. Click here to add an image file, or here to add an audio file. You can also add a YouTube video. Just click here and search for a suitable file. Click here and it is added. We will just add a unit from the platform to this homework task. Firstly, we set the homework task beginning and deadline dates, and then press Save. To add a unit from the platform to this piece of homework, just select one from either the database of units or from the course book you are using. Now, let's see what the student sees when he logs in. He sees the homework task on his dashboard and also in his calendar. The teacher can check to see whether the student has completed the homework here, and if the homework is not from the platform, the teacher can manually mark the completion of the exercise. Let's Learn English, as well as having a wealth of material in its database, allows teachers to create their own exercises. Click here to create the unit. Choose the type of unit it will be, and here choose the exercise that will be in the unit. Press Save. The unit now exists and has a number. It is, however, empty. Click on the exercise you wish to create and click the Edit button. We are going to create a gap fill using a YouTube video as our source material. Select the video here, and then we will write out the transcript, as this unit is testing the student's listening abilities. Once the dialogue has been written, simply double-click one word, click on Close, click Save, and the gap is created. Double-click on a word, click Close, add a couple of distractors if you wish, and click Save. The exercise has now been completed. Very quick and very easy. Teachers use Let's Learn English to transform the material they had on their computer hard drives and which they photocopied for their classes into multimedia digital exercises. Now we will see how an administrator can control the school which uses Let's Learn English for its teachers, in its classes and with its students. Firstly, we will log in as the administrator of the school. From this now familiar dashboard, we can see the Quick Start videos, a list of the teachers, classes and students in the school, compositions and spoken recordings that have yet to be marked, projects that are being undertaken by class groups, units created by the school, notices written, questions asked, and subscriptions remaining. Clicking on Weekly Stats gives the administrator a snapshot of the usage of the platform by all the classes, whilst clicking on Teacher Activity or Class Activity again shows us how much the platform is being used. Creating new classes in your school is both easy and also offers flexibility in terms of the class setup. Choose which types of exercises your students will have access to. Choose whether to have the Let's Learn English Kids version, which has a different look and different functions associated with it. Choose which coursebook your students are studying from. Add students from your existing student list quickly and easily. And do the same with your teachers. You can also update your students and classes from here. Flexibility is at the heart of what we do here at Let's Learn English. No two schools are alike in the way they like to set their school up, so a school administrator can adapt her or his school setup in hundreds of ways through the configuration option. Set limits on permissions for students and teachers. Select and configure the placement test your students will take. Enable or disable elements of the communication centre and library according to the requirements of your school. Choose which course books you use in your school. Decide whether you want the daily lessons to appear for your students. You can even adjust the numbers of virtual coins your students earn for doing exercises. All of this is designed to make the platform fit you, rather than having to make your school fit the setup of the platform. We are now going to see how a school can create a schedule of classes for their teachers, how the teachers can then create a lesson plan outline and a lesson summary for their students, and include pre-lesson activities in a flipped approach, and how the students access the lesson. Firstly, as the school administrator, let's access the lesson schedule. We can see that there are no lessons scheduled, so we click here to create a schedule. Who is this schedule for? Now add our Zoom link if the class is going to be digital, or leave this blank if the lesson is face-to-face. The teacher will be completing this section with details of the lesson. Will the lesson be in a classroom or digital? Who will be giving the lesson? When will the lesson be? Let's make this a repeating lesson every week until the end of the year. Now we have finished and created all the lessons for one teacher and one class between now and Christmas in less than a minute. You might have many teachers and many classes to schedule, yet you will be able to create an entire term schedule within an hour. The teacher logs in and sees the schedule of classes. Click on one and complete the details of what is going to be in the lesson. In this case, it will be a B2 class focusing on the present perfect. This teacher wants the students to complete a unit from the platform before the lesson begins. Click Save, and then go to the Study Centre. Choose Present Perfect and add it to the lesson. Now, what does the student see when they log on and go to their calendar? They can see that they have a lesson. Click for the details and click to do the pre-lesson activity. Teachers have an attendance register which they can complete. We have seen how we can run a school online with Let's Learn English. We have seen that Let's Learn English is far more than a collection of exercises for students. It offers a complete and highly flexible solution for schools wishing to fully integrate online learning into the running of their institution. Having seen the video, I'm sure that you will be interested in taking a tour around the platform yourself. Click on the link to get a free demo code for full access.